Toyota's given us another early morning embargo. I'm recording this at 4:30 to get out ahead of it, to get this to you guys. We now have information on the US spec Toyota CHR. And I told you guys the CHR was coming to the United States. Now, there are some differences between actually the one headed for Europe. If we go back to here, this model, I mean, yes, they come from the same place. They have similar outputs, but the range is different between the two. The battery packs are a little different. How they're equipped is a little different. So we're going to go over that today. And I told you guys the CHR, well, it's called the CHR Plus over in Europe. It looks like for the United States, they're just calling it the CHR. And that's fine too, because we don't get the CHR at all anymore. So this makes sense from a naming perspective. In Europe, they still get the hybrid CHR that's built in Turkey for the European market. That also comes with a plug-in hybrid as well. It's pretty much a lifted Prius with maybe a tinge more cargo space, the CHR over there. And that's why they had to differentiate their model by calling it CHR Plus, since we don't get any CHRs until, well, because the old CHR was canceled for our market. This is just the new CHR for our market, which is fully battery electric. And it is a hot coupe-like crossover, and it is a way better looking vehicle, in my opinion, than the BZ4X. So guys, we're going to compare this today to the BZ4X that we got yesterday. Here's the image of it. We'll compare these vehicles side by side in terms of styling and range and all that good stuff. So if you guys appreciate this content, I would appreciate a like button just to give me some motivation to keep doing these early pre-embargo videos. Toyota will keep having more pre-embargo videos. Monday, I leave to Plano, Texas, to Toyota HQ to drive a lot of these vehicles, to test a lot of these vehicles, to give you guys hands-on impressions of a lot of these vehicles, including the brand new RAV4 Reveal. That's the big one. That's the big kahuna. I don't know. I can't think this morning. So let's get into it. All right, so the images we have are all kind of in a sunset setting. And maybe it's because it's this orange paint color, which I adore, and we'll read more into it here in a little bit. I just wanted to look at the images first because this vehicle is gorgeous. Light bar is a little overplayed across the industry, but it does look still like really recognizable from the back. It doesn't have the plus button. All-wheel drive is standard here as well, which is going to make a difference with range compared to the European spec model, because the European spec model, guys, has a larger battery pack as a 77 kilowatt hour battery pack, while the BZ4X in Europe has like a 74.7, something like that, kilowatt hour battery pack. This has the 74 kilowatt hour battery pack, not the 77. So it's not going to beat the BZ4X in range. We'll get into the nitty gritty, but because it doesn't come in a front wheel drive in the United States, it's all wheel drive only, which is, I don't know how I feel about it, to be honest. But I think, Toyota sees this as a more premium model. And they're going to, charge more for it and give up standard all-wheel drive. All right, I don't know. That's just a guess. The interior is exactly the same as a BZ4X. No physical climate control, dual phone chargers, or should I say wireless chargers, 14-inch screen, no glove box still. This is the first year of it. So like the BZ4X, it doesn't have a glove box. But the front end is gorgeous. And I'm happy. I'm happy this is coming to America. Standard all-wheel drive. It only has SE and XSE grades. Toyota does that for sporty models. Obviously, the Prius Prime, for example, is the only model I can think of that comes only in sporty grades. All right. Lithium-ion with 74.7 kilowatt hour battery pack, up to 290 miles of range. If we go to this, European press room, it has 77 kilowatt hour battery pack with a cruising range of 600 kilometers. Now that's on their cycle, 600 times 0.62, 372 miles. Well, the reality is on the EPA cycle with a smaller battery pack, it's only getting 290 miles. Now the BZ4X In front wheel drive configuration, gets an extra 24 miles to 314 miles. If you look at the all-wheel drive BZ4X, that gets 288 miles. So if you're looking at all-wheel drive electric vehicles for Toyota, this actually has the best range by 1 mile? Or sorry, am I looking at 288 to 292 miles? Goodness. It does have DC fast charging with the NACS port. So like the new BZ4X, has battery preconditioning, 11 kilowatt onboard charger, which is up from, I think it was like a 7 kilowatt onboard charger previously on the BZ4X. Plug-in charge capability. I'll just plug it into a Tesla supercharger and it'll bill you automatically. You don't have to fumble with your cards or anything. All-wheel drive eAxles. The same horsepower output, of course, as the BZ4X with 338 horsepower. So 0 to 60 is going to be under 5 seconds. This is fast. This would beat a GR Corolla in a straight line. All right, it's probably going to cost more too. Built on Toyota's e-TNGA platform with chassis tuning that complements its spirited output. Okay, it's it's going to be firm. Speaking of a Toyota vehicle / Lexus, I'm driving the Toyota Grand Highlander's fancier brother, the Lexus TX, and it's an F Sport. And there's so much about it that's not an F Sport and how it drives. But wait for my review on it. It's been a while since I've driven a Lexus TX. Okay. Anyways, modern interior with soft touch materials, customizable lighting, and 14-inch touchscreen. We can fold the seats down. We have 25 cubic feet of cargo space behind the rear seats. I'm trying to remember what the BZ4X is. Let's look. Actually, it's really close. 27.7 and 25. Guys, this is pretty much negligible. All right. 25.8 with the JBL speakers. So it just it only has a couple more cubic feet of cargo space. And if you get the JBL system, and the BZ4X is about the same. So people were wondering, hey, it's coupe crossover, it's not going to have the same cargo. And just because on paper they have similar numbers doesn't mean it might not be as functional as the BZ4X's cargo, because there's a little bit more of a boxy entrance to the BZ4X compared to the slopey coupe-like crossover. Anyways, it's still good to see that you are not losing hardly any cargo space. You probably will lose some rear legroom, and I don't think I have official rear legroom numbers quite yet, because this vehicle's launching. Actually, it's launching about the same time as the BZ4X, and I was told I was going to be able to drive the BZ4X at this big event next week. I don't know if I'll be able to drive the CHR Plus. I think the BZ4X is coming out before, I think, but I could be wrong. Yes, here we go. The BZ, I keep calling it the BZ4X, is no longer called the BZ4X. They've already conditioned me, guys, and my early morning brain wasn't able to overcome the renaming. It's just called the BZ. Anyways, it's expected to arrive Toyota dealerships in the second half of 2025. So that's why I'm probably get access to driving that before this model. All right, and that's fine with me. I don't want to have too many cars to drive in such a short amount of time. But if it's available, I'll find a way to give you guys the content. There will be 18 and 20-inch wheel options for this CHR. And you're also going to have single and two-tone paint options. Toyota likes to do the two-tone paint options for their SE, XSE models or sport models, and likely their upcoming GR Sport models too. Now, the CHR BEV is expected to arrive at Toyota dealerships nationwide 2026. I've heard that it's going to be January, but everything can get delayed. This is the modern world of car launches. Things get delayed more often than not. If you guys care about the dimensions, you can go ahead and pause here and check that out. And like the new BZ non-4X, the steering wheel has paddles mounted on it, and you can change the regen braking. This is a first for a Toyota EV in the United States. Previously, the BZ4X only had a button that was like regen braking on or off, and it still wasn't one pedal driving. I don't expect this to be one pedal driving, but you'll be able to, in theory, customize multiple levels of regen braking. Yes, the driver can adjust the amount of regen braking. So that's cool. I'm excited for that. I want to see how much I like it or don't like it. The all-electric 26 CHR will be available in SE and XSE. And it's just one spec, just 338 horsepower, I should say, in terms of the powertrain. So getting the XSE is just going to give you more features. What are the standard features on the SE? Well, I'm surprised they have this already like down pat, because this vehicle is not launching for quite some time. But anyways, here we go. It's launching with 2 trims, SE, 290 miles range because it has the smaller wheels, right? 18-inch wheels, power liftgate, rain sensing wipers, low profile roof rails, fabric / soft text trim seats, 8 power driver seats, 6-way manual passenger seat, heated front seats and steering wheel, 2 front wireless Qi chargers, 3 USB-C ports, 1 in front, 2 in the rear. That's good. You have them in the back. Parking assist on the front and the back. That's awesome. Blind spot monitor, of course, standard. So Safety Sense 3.0. XSE gets us the larger wheels. Okay, let's go back to those wheels. There they are. They look kind of like a wind turbine or something. Anyways, Softex synthetic suede trimmed seats. I don't know if that does anything for me. Maybe ventilated seats are going to be optional because they're not on here. I know ventilated seats are definitely in the limited trim of the BZ. Okay. Anyways, you get a power passenger seat, memory seat, traffic jam assist, digital rearview mirror, lane change monitor, panoramic view monitor, so the 360 camera. Sorry, not lane change monitor, lane change assist, which is a gimmick, like changes lanes for you and not as fast as I prefer. So anyways, here we go. We have more information here. You know, they talk about ventilated seats with the app and how you can use the app for the ventilated seats. So I would be surprised if we don't have ventilation here on the seats, even though they don't mention it. Maybe I'm missing something. It's completely possible, but it's not in the press release, ventilated seats, but it's probably on the XSE model. All right. So I want to compare the refreshed BZ4X, just known as the BZ, the artist formerly known as BZ4X. It's just BZ now. I want to compare these two models. I want to get your thoughts on which you think looks better. I mean, to me, there's no doubt that this is the better looking vehicle. Now, you might be saying, Kirk, it's essentially the same exact vehicle in the front, and I agree. It's just everything else from the A-pillar back looks so much better on the CHR than it does the BZ. All right. Do we have a side profile of it? Toyota North America did not give us a side profile. I'll have to get a side profile from the European newsroom. So hold on. Here we go. Side by side. I know it's opposite, but it's the best I can do right now. It's early. All right. So we have just a much better looking vehicle from the side profile. The BZ4X, the cladding around the wheels, I know that they're giving us option. I know I keep calling it the BZ4X. The BZ, even though they paint matched them and it looks better, it still doesn't look quite right. I think most of you would agree with me. Where the design here, there's nothing funny about it. All right, this looks like a more polished looking electric vehicle. Let's compare the back ends now. I've always liked the back end of the BZ4X. I think that that's its best looking angles. CHR still looks, I wouldn't say better from looking at it back on, but it does, because this portion right here with this high line kind of reminds me of the Lexus RZ. It's more premium looking, it's more sporty looking, and then the more dull looking BZ model. All right. So with that being said, I think you guys would agree that it's a better looking car than the new BZ, even though the BZ has made massive gains in terms of the styling department. But I'm going to end it there, guys. I should get hands-on with this vehicle. This has to be, and I didn't see in the press release, but this looks like some sort of new orange color, and with blacked out logos. Maybe that's just what they're doing with the XSE models, to black out the logos it might be a special nightshade edition or something. I don't know, to be honest. But this pink color, I don't know if I'm familiar with it. You guys are Toyota freaks, so and I mean that in the best way possible. I'll see you guys in the comments. Stay tuned. I'm sure Toyota's going to give me another embargo piece for early morning arrival tomorrow as well. So make sure you have hit that bell icon on the subscribe button. I would appreciate that. Have a great day, guys. Thank you so much. And hopefully this got your day started nice and right.